you have that negative x to the negative 2. Negative exponent means that you're going to move it to the other side. If it's on the bottom, you move it to the top. If it's on the top, you move it to the bottom. So it means you're dividing by x. So, not to be too confusing, it's the same as dividing by 1 over x squared. And remember, dividing by numbers is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. That's why we move it to the top, because it's the same as multiplying it. Instead of dividing by 1 over x squared, we're going to multiply by it positive, by x to the positive 2. So I'm going to write these out. 3. I'm just going to write them out factored to 3 and then x. Is it x to the second power? Is it right? X, and then a y. And then the bottom, I'm going to write them out the same way. Okay, 12. 12 is really
The third.
the third. Thank you. I asked you folks, no one said anything. All right, so 12 is really 2 times 6, and 6 is really 2 times 3. So 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. I have x to the negative 2. If I have x to the negative 2 on the bottom, it's really, I'm gonna move to the top. It means 2x's on the top, on the other side. So remember, x to the negative 2 means you have a 2 on the opposite side. Remember, x to the negative 2 means 1 over x to the second. It means it's, you to make it a positive exponent on the opposite side. And then I have 5 y's. Now I'm going to look for what I can cancel out between them. Let's see, 3 and a 3, those go away. And then a y and a y, those go away. So what am I left with? Well, on top, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, x to the 5th. On the bottom, I have 2 times 2, which is 4, and 4 y's, y to the 4th. So there's my final answer. Yeah.
I put 2 square, would that be wrong?
Oh, that's fine. 2 squared is fine. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Next one. Well, let's see.
Oh, man.
I have 15 is 3 times 5. And I have A, and then I have 7 B's. All on top. On the bottom, I have a 5. I have 7 A's. And 2 B's. 3 B's? Alright, so now I need to figure out what I can cancel out. So this B over B is just another form of 1, that B over B, and that B over B is just another form of 1, and then I have A over A here, and 5 over 5 there. So now I've got 3 B, 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 B on top, and at the bottom I have A, 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 A. This is a what type of jail?
2 type.
2 type of jail. So they come out in groups of 2. So here I have a B on top, oops, another B on top, so I have 2 B's on top. On the bottom, here is an A, I have 2 A's here, another 2 A's there, another 2 A's there. If it's on the bottom, it stays on the bottom. If it's on the top, it stays on the top. I have 3 A's coming out, but they're on the bottom. Everybody see that? So those A's, I have 3 A's on the outside, but they're on the bottom. What am I left with? I'm left with square root of 3 inside on the top. So I can just do it here, or I can do it, I can put it on top here, that's okay too. Either one of those is the same thing. I could do it, you could even, put it 3/1, doesn't matter, it's all the same. Who has had a chance to go through the practice exam, the study guide? If I move the exam to Monday, will everybody actually do the study guide?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so should I move the exam to Monday? Could do that, and just review next class?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll do that, and we're still going to be okay schedule-wise if we do that. All right, so we'll do the exam on Monday. What I'll probably do then is just have you come in and take the exam. Yeah. So what we'll do next class is we'll do a little bit of Unit 6, just a tiny bit. And then we'll review, half the class will be review, half the class will be Unit 6. And then Monday we'll do the same thing, we'll do an hour of review and then take the exam. But, and then we'll kind of go over Unit 6 again on Wednesday and Thursday. I think that'll be all right. Okay, so let's take a look at the next problem, number 6. So I should go back to, so, 5, okay, so 6 is, 6, oh, here on number 5. Do you have 2 and 3, do you have this part on number 5?
Yeah, identify the interval of
Yeah,
increasing
so,
or decreasing or decreasing.
this part, ignore those parts, the increasing, decreasing, we're not gonna do that. So cross those 2 out on number 5. Where it says increasing and decreasing, we're not gonna do that. Okay, good. Everybody have that down? All right, I'm gonna move on. So here's number 6. Here's a function. I would rewrite it immediately as y equals something with x in it. So first rewrite it as y equals, I'm going to write out what it should be. I'm going to write out right now, rewrite this as y equals something with x in it. Do it right now. Right now, write it. Y equals what? Y equals and just instead of t, write x. So everybody has this? Is that right? That should be what everybody wrote down?
Yeah.
Okay, instead of t, you're going to write x instead. Find the vertex. You all know how to find the vertex. If not, then you should have that on your half-page of notes. Right, the vertex is negative b over 2a. If you don't have it on your note card, you should be making your note card. Get a scratch piece of paper right now and on somewhere write down the stuff you're going to need, like vertex. Negative b over 2a. Find the vertex. Figure out whether it's going upwards or downwards. In other words, is it like this or is it like that? Right? Is it unhappy or is it happy? Figure out which one it is. And figure out what the maximum height is. So we'll pick a Maybe 5 minutes to work on those. First things first, we're going to find the vertex. All right, so my vertex is that where my h is equal to my vertex, h comma k. My h is equal to negative b over 2a. So I need to find that. So my h is equal to negative b, negative 2.4 over 2 times my a, negative 0.12. And you'll end up with a negative 2.4 over negative 0.24. Negatives cancel out, and we end up with 10. Everybody end up with that? Yes? Oh, no. Oh, read it for mine. Is that right?
Thank you.
Thanks. Gabe, what'd you get?
For the vertex,
Yeah.
1018.
Melissa, what'd you get?
For the vertex,
Yeah.
1018.
Okay. So that's my H. And then I gotta plug it back in to here to figure out what my K is. So my K will be negative 0.12 times x. So I'm gonna put in 10 for x to figure out what my K is. And if I do that, I'll end up with, let's see, 100 squared, negative 12 plus 2.4 plus 6, which gives me negative 6, negative, why is my negative? Oh, it's 24, I'm sorry, 24. So 18. There you go. So then my vertex is going to be 10, comma 18. Seems good. Now we need to figure out if it's thrown upwards or downwards. So if it's thrown upwards, so in other words, what was the shape? Was it unhappy like that, or was it happy like this? Remember, if it's unhappy, that means A is negative. And over here, A is positive. Right? So is your A negative or positive? Someone take a look, find your A. Figure out what A is. A equals, write down what A equals. Look at your equation. Did you do this part already, Eric?
I did the whole thing wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to start from the beginning.
Okay. Well, let's
Top
just,
of it.
so drop the top part, let's just look at this part here.
Yeah,
Write down what your A is. Is A positive or negative? Write down what your A equals. A equals what?
oh yeah, I did it, negative 0.12.
Okay, so it's negative 0.12. So is it going to be unhappy or happy?
Unhappy.
Unhappy. So it's going to be this one here. So does that mean was it thrown upwards or thrown downwards then?
Downward.
No. If it's unhappy, it means it was thrown upwards and then came down. Does that make sense?
Oh. I was just thinking it came down, so it was going downwards. But you're talking about the first part of it.
Yeah. So this is kind of the, so here it's unhappy, which means it opens downwards, but it was thrown upwards. It's sort of an opposite. Does that make sense for folks? I need eyes here for a second. So if it's unhappy, it means it opens downwards, but it means it was thrown upwards and then it dropped down. So you're following me? So I threw a rock up, went up, and then it came down. Here, I threw something down, like I threw a ball into the water, it went down, and then it bounced back up. Right? If you throw something that floats into the water, it'll go down, and it'll come back up. Does that kind of make sense?
Hmm.
So this is, it opens upwards, but you threw it down, and then it popped back up. So that's why it's a little bit tricky. I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because it's, usually I ask you, is it open downwards or is it open upwards? Here I'm not asking where it opens, I'm asking you where it was thrown. So maybe on the exam, draw a picture of the shape. That way if you said downwards, but you drew the picture right, then you'll still be kind of okay. Does that make sense? So yeah, draw a picture. What was the maximum height of the Frisbee? So my vertex is my maximum, right? So my vertex is 10, 18, which means what? X stands for my, X is the time, Y is the what? Height. So what this means is after 10 seconds, the height, the Y, is 18 what? 18 feet. So it means that the maximum height is going to be this guy right there. So the maximum, remember the Y is your output. You put something in, and your Y is always your output. So the question is, what's the maximum height? In other words, what is my output the most? So the maximum means your maximum output. It's all about the output. So when is my Y the maximum? At the vertex. And what is it then? It's 18. My output's 18.
Your maximum height is 18?
Yeah.
After, oh, like 10 seconds, the height is 18.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's where the vertex comes in. Right, so this is my seconds. Everyone look out for a second. This is my seconds. This other part here, 18, that's this part there. Does everyone understand that's what the vertex means? At 10 seconds, the height, the output, when the input is 10 seconds, the output, feet, is 18. This is the critical part about the word problems for this. This is the only kind of really word problem we have in this section. So it's important you understand this idea here.
So, I guess
The vertex.
translating the height in the feet to the two numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
but I mean, I just don't get how you figured that the 10.
I found my vertex.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
So you know this is the vertex, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The question is then which one's seconds, which one's feet?
Right.
You gotta look at the problem and figure out which, it tells you f of t is the height. So that means that this is the height.
Oh, the white. Oh, because of Y.
Yeah.
All right.
So figure out what your y is. So in the beginning, you may figure out what your y is and figure out what your x is.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and then remember 10, skip 10. So we'll go down to 10, I'll point that out, and we are skipping this one. Skip this one, it will not be on the exam, not on exam. Right? Don't worry about that one. And then we're going to take a look at 7A and C. Yeah, some good factoring. Okay. anytime you see 4 terms,
Split it into two.
yep, is gonna be the factor by grouping. Other comment I'll make is, anytime you have the A is not 1, you need to do the extra step. It's either your box or grouping. Okay, so the first one, factor by grouping. What does factor by grouping mean? Does anyone remember that again? What is the factor by grouping part? So I want you to take 30 seconds now and start in on your factor by grouping. Right now, start on it. And then we'll go through it a little bit and then kind of send you on your way. So try to do what you think you know from factor by grouping.